Hello everyone and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Wednesday, August 23rd, 2017. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm out of shape.
Well, welcome Out of Shape. How are you today?
Well, I ran part of the way here, and I say part because I couldn't run all of the way.
Yep.
I'm out of shape.
That's fair.
I really need to start working out and doing something about my piece of shit body that isn't a piece of shit because it's overweight, obviously. It's a piece of shit because it's a piece of shit.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, only so much can be done about that.
Right.
Please remember, everyone, that you can help support this show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet. If you would like to help support it financially, we'd be most appreciative. And if you get us high enough, one, I'll do a terrible white boy rap, and Nathan will shave all the beard off of his face.
Yeah, guys, get us high enough.
Even past that, we will go from 4 days a week to 5, 6, and even 7 if we do get high enough. Alternatively, if you would like to watch the show live...
Are you high enough, Michael?
No, not at all. If you'd like to watch the show live and take part in a live conversation in the chat room, we do go live on Facebook Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time. So, aside from being out of shape, how are you, sir?
A lot better.
Yeah?
Woke up today not hating myself as much.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. What made the difference?
I think I went to sleep at like 10-ish. I don't remember.
Oh, so you got an actual amount of sleep?
No, not really.
Would you wake up at like 3?
Well, I always wake up at like 3.
Why?
Even if I go to sleep at 1.
Why?
Oh no.
What's wrong with you?
A lot of things. My sleep pattern's fucked, but it's not all the time because of me.
So who are you blaming it on, or what?
I don't know. I have alarm anxiety. I will wake up 5 to 10 minutes before my alarm.
Oh no, I totally understand that. I don't normally, but if I'm concerned that I won't wake up on time for something and I've set an alarm for it, and I'm concerned I'll either like sleep through the alarm or the alarm's not going to go off, I will wake up like every hour just in like, what time is it? Oh, it's only 2 o'clock. What time is it? Oh, it's 3. What time is it? It's 4. Like,
yeah. Not only that, like sometimes, like I have this weird pattern in the morning. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What I'll do is I'll set my alarm for 6. I'll wake up to my alarm and then set my alarm for 15 minutes so I can nap for 15 minutes.
Sure.
That way I can be like in this not super groggy area. I miss you too, Zach. And then I go and take a shower, and then I get dressed, brush my hair all the way back, and then take like a 20-minute nap before work.
Sure. So you have enough energy to make it through at least the first half of the day?
Yeah, and I mean that and a coffee or Red Bull, depending on what I get in the morning.
Then you take a nap at lunch so that you can make it through the second half of the day.
Generally about anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes, depending on how well me reading My Hero Academia goes.
Sure. Well, shall we get into some news? There's
sure.
Some news.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. You guess so?
Yeah.
Okay.
10.
Ex-lottery programmer who rigged winnings gets 25 years in prison.
This was submitted by Theobetes to Our Technology.
Yep, he was associated with helping program several of the lotteries across multiple states, and he rigged them in such a way in which he would be able to manipulate them and get the winning numbers. And he did that in 5 different states with 7 different tickets, and what he would do is he'd do what he needed to do to get the number, give the ticket to a friend of his under the condition that his friend would split the money with him. They were found out, and, well... he's going to go to the jail for a while. Most of even the prosecuting attorney believes that he won't be in jail for more than 5 years. Yeah.
Well, that's a fucked up thing for you to do, but damn, 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those situations where I'm like, yeah, you're kind of a garbage person, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's worth us paying for you to be in jail for 25 years. Like... put him on house arrest or something, but I guess his house arrest, you have to pay for house arrest.
Yeah, no, definitely. House arrest kind of blows.
So, I mean, and it seems like a waste of space to put him in jail because, like, while what he did was really messed up, at the same time, it's like, you're not exactly a danger to society. I don't feel like you need to be in prison.
Yeah, no. feel like probation is just fine for him with the chance of going back to prison. Though fraud is a very real thing, and people need to realize that it's not okay.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, there's ways you can keep track of him through that.
Yeah.
Andrew in the chat room says, it's turned into a hostage situation. Straighten the picture of the hipster hat gets it.
How did you get my hat? I thought it was at Brendan's.
Maybe he got it from Brendan?
I doubt it.
I don't know.
Maybe he has an old hat of mine.
Maybe. Or maybe he just has a hipster hat. It's not even yours and he's just threatening it.
Damn it, put Sarah's hat down.
But Nathan never...
Damn it, man. You don't know the gravity of the situation.
All right, $200 a month and Nathan will straighten out the picture.
A 200 picture straight.
$100 for me to wrap, $150 for him to shave, $200 for the picture to be straightened. There you go.
Let's do it. You guys want that picture straightened? $200. Has that guy commented back on any of the YouTube?
I'm going to make a quick admittance and say I'm the worst at keeping track of what's going on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, I will admit, I just kind of throw the video up there a lot of the times, and then, like, it's one of the last things I do, so at the same time, like, no, we haven't had a comment on YouTube in 12 days, so.
Huh.
And most of them are spam anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, he's not commented back. That's assuming he even watched any more of them.
Yeah. I hope he did.
Yeah, me too. Because now you're, like, it's almost impressive that it's staying up there.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like it should be.
It probably shouldn't, but it is.
Well, power to you, sir. And yeah, I got nothing else.
I honestly don't know how it's staying up there.
Faith, grime.
No, I balanced it perfectly. I'm just surprised that there hasn't been enough shaking of the house for it to fall down.
I should really stop the whole scroll thing. That makes the entire little thingy-majigger be real weird. Anyway,
9.
White House resignations, starting with State Department Science Envoy resigns with letter that spells out impeach.
This is submitted by Donald's neck vulva
Gross!
to our politics.
Ugh, some of your guys' usernames are just friggin' disgusting.
Donald's neck vulva.
That is...
Oh my god.
That is the worst. All right, either way, the science envoy for the State Department has resigned following Trump's response to the violent clashes at a white supremacist rally in Charlottesville. The first letter of if you take the first letter of every paragraph, it spells out the words impeach.
That's fucking beautiful. And I bet it's on purpose.
Oh, it's 100% on purpose. But really, I mean, as for the actual substance of the letter, it's basically like, you know, you fail to condemn white supremacists and neo-Nazis. I can't stand beside this, etc., etc., etc. Goodbye, I'm leaving.
Yeah, no, it's good.
And to follow up with that, members resigned from White House Council on Infrastructure Security.
This was submitted by Sys32 Gen to our politics.
It doesn't say how many. It just says several members of one of Trump's advisory councils, in this case the National Infrastructure Advisory Council, which majority of them were appointed during the Obama administration. This board was set up during the Bush administration, resigned the day they were supposed to meet.
Huh.
They're like, you know what? No, I don't want to be there. I'm done. Screw this.
That doesn't seem worth it.
Here's a question I posed, though. Like, I 100% understand why all of these different members of these different boards and councils are like, I don't want to be part of this, I'm leaving. Like, you know, all these resignations from the different councils, I understand, but at the same point, you are now leaving
and hurting us more.
Well, the administration is going to be full of nothing but the people that you don't like.
You need it. You were the heroes.
Like, I understand why you don't want to be part of it, but at the same time, you're not really helping by leaving either.
Huh.
Because, like, the problem that you're opposing is going to be exacerbated by the fact that there's not going to be anyone there anymore to keep it in check.
Yeah. Yeah, and just, you had a little bit more power than you did. Like, you had a little bit more sway. Your words were there. Maybe they weren't being listened to, but they were there.
Well, and it just, I guess it concerns me because if all of the good people, I'm not going to necessarily say they were all good people, but all the people on that side leave, that just leaves the people that they don't like there.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
Jennifer says that it might be too high of a liability. That's fair, maybe. I don't know. I guess it also depends on what sort of things you're involved with as like an individual. But at the same time, like, you can't fight as well against it if you are no longer part of it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So it's a little bit of a mixed bag there. Mm-hmm. Either way, I still 100% understand and support their resignations. It just it does me a concern.
Yeah, no, definitely.
8.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it does me a concern. You know, like
HIV and AIDS are no longer the leading cause of death in Africa.
This is submitted by Trump Dumper to our uplifting news. God damn, everywhere.
People just going with it right now, huh?
Definitely.
Yep. So I mean, it's still up there. An estimated 760,000 deaths from HIV/AIDS were recorded in 2015. This is down from the 1 million deaths in 2010. Right now, the most common cause of death is lower respiratory tract infections. They top the list. These are normally caused by viruses and bacteria in the airways and lungs. Think of things like bronchitis and pneumonia. And then right below that is HIV and AIDS. And then below that, we go into diarrheal diseases. And 88% of those are caused, and a good number of the lower respiratory tract infections are caused from unsafe water, poor sanitation, insufficient hygiene, etc.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing, but still a bad thing that, you know, there's a lot of death from hygiene, really.
A surprising number of them is from straight up stroke.
Really?
Yep. The one right after diarrheal is stroke, so the fourth leading killer. It kills approximately 400,000 people a year.
I wonder how and why stroke is more prominent there.
It just says stroke, so I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, is it literally just like a normal stroke, or is it a heat stroke, or what?
Oh yeah, no, heat stroke could be a thing. Huh.
Yeah.
I feel like they need to be more specific about it.
I think it's more about just saying, hey, HIV and AIDS isn't as prominent anymore. It's still very prominent. I mean, 760,000 a year is still a ridiculous amount. But, I mean, it's less than 1 million.
Oh, I mean, nice. Less than 1 million, I guess.
Jennifer says, I wonder how many of these respiratory issues are from after HIV destroys the immune system. I mean, if you die from, because, if you have HIV/AIDS, you can literally die from the common cold. Do they attribute that to you dying from the cold or from AIDS destroying your immune system? I'm not sure which classification that goes in. I mean, if you die from a respiratory issue because of AIDS, then I think you would attribute it to AIDS, but it doesn't actually say.
Yeah. I would like to see a study done on that, though. That'd be cool.
Would be cool.
Then we could figure out how to fix
Sorry.
things. I was just going to say, then we could figure out how to fix those things.
I think it's mostly just time and resources. Like, a lot of the problems are caused from, as we already mentioned, things like basically hygiene issues. And so once we are able to get the money and the infrastructure over there for clean water for everyone, good living conditions, proper hygiene care, a lot of these problems will begin to diminish. But they're still so far behind in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What they really need is a lot more infrastructure, but
that takes time and money, and most people won't put the money into it unless there's money to be gotten out of it.
Exactly.
7.
United Nations warns United States over alarming racism.
This was submitted by SW Green Classifieds to our World News. I almost said how many hours ago.
So they haven't directly named Donald Trump, but people are basically just straight up attributing it to him. The United Nations warning the United States for failing, and I quote, to unequivocally and unconditionally reject and condemn racist hate speeches and crimes in Charlottesville, as well as other locations throughout the U.S. There should be no place in the world for racist white supremacist ideas or any similar ideologies that reject the core human right principles of human dignity and equality. So they haven't actually said Donald Trump, but they are calling on the U.S. government as well as high-level politicians and public officials to, quote, address the root causes of the proliferation of such racist manifestations. So in translation, the United States said, hey, America, get your shit together.
Stop being racist fucks, you fucks.
Yeah, no, that's about right.
You literally had a war over this.
Like, I don't understand why this is that complicated. Like, it shouldn't be,
It
but
really isn't.
a lot of, like, it too often is treated as though it's like, it is a big deal, but it shouldn't be a big deal. This should be pretty cut and dry, easy to solve thing. Like, yeah. Like, just fix it. There's not a whole lot that is truly up for debate here.
Yeah, no, racism is bad.
Racism.
Being racist is bad, and allowing and condoning racism is also bad.
Yeah, quit it. Just quit it.
Yeah,
Stop
definitely.
it. It's not that, well, I understand for some people, like, it is very hard to break habits and stuff like that, especially depending on how and where you were raised, but at the same time, quit it.
Yeah, stop. Condemn it, you know? Get the shit out of here. We don't need that anymore.
Understand that, like,
I mean, technically, we didn't need it in the first place.
no, but you're still garbage person and quit it.
6,
Not one drop of Poland spring bottled water is from a spring, claims a lawsuit.
This is submitted by Zachalicious to our news. So delicious.
Zachalicious, so delicious.
But I ain't promiscuous, and if you were suspicious, man, that shit is fictitious. I blow kisses. Woo-wee!
So Poland Spring, the country's best-selling bottled water, is a colossal fraud. At least that's according to a recently filed class action lawsuit. The lawsuit claims that the spring water that is made in the Nestle water factory is actually not from anything that the Food and Drug Administration defines as spring water. The original Poland Spring in Poland Spring, Maine, dried up nearly 50 years ago.
I thought it was in Poland.
Nope. It's in
Man,
May.
am I dumb. I thought it was from a spring in Poland.
Nope, it's from...
I didn't know there was an actual Poland spring.
Yep. Poland Spring in Spain. Not Spain,
Why would you
in
do
Maine.
that to me, Spain?
Not Spain, Maine.
Oh, what? Damn.
I'm
Is
the
Spain
worst.
like the spam version of Maine?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh.
No, Maine is like the lobster version of Spain.
Oh. Okay.
It makes sense if you don't think about it.
I mean-
But anyway, they
I
say...
mean, if all you see is food.
Sure. Nestle is claiming that Poland spring water is 100% spring water that is gotten from 8 different springs across the state of Maine. But by the Food and Drug Administration, I can speak words. 6 of their 8 locations are not considered springs, and the other 2 that were springs no longer have any water in them.
So where are they getting their water then?
From underground aquifers and sources, but it's not considered spring water, but that's what they advertise it as. It's essentially a case of false advertising.
It's a giant case of false advertisement.
Yeah.
Watch, are they going to set up a lawsuit for defamation?
I don't know. I mean, this is also not Nestle's
Or
first...
countersuing for defamation. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, this is not Nestle's first go-around when it comes to lawsuits regarding their water sources or their chocolate sources or anything of where they get from anywhere, whether it's, because Nestle also makes, like, cat food. We talked about it last year about this...
Tell you what, Nestle may be scumbags, but I really like their chocolate.
Really? I like
Chocolate.
some of it. Some of it's pretty garbage.
Well, okay, so I like some of their chocolate because actually I don't... Yeah, no, never mind. I can have some Nestle chocolate. Not all chocolate. I can have some of their chocolate.
Sure. But like last year we talked
The
about
ones I can have is like Crunch Bars.
the lawsuit against Nestle regarding that the majority of their fish in their cat foods was gotten from slave labor in Africa. We also talked about the huge deal that was trying to be made regarding how much water Nestle pulls out of California when California was in a drought. Stuff like that. In this case, I mean, who knows what'll happen? I mean, they already actually had a similar case regarding this. It was back in 2003. They paid $10 million to charity regarding false advertising for Poland spring water. So
They should just stop. Like, they should rename it. Call it not spring water. Call it Main water.
well, some people legitimately will only buy spring water, and they're
Well, then resource differently and go to actual springs and get spring water.
but that costs money, Nathan,
Oh, God.
because Nestle doesn't have enough.
Are they going under?
No, they're making so much money all the time.
I was going to say they're producing chocolate in a fat-ass nation.
Like chocolate and bottled water. Like bottled water is such a huge profit margin.
Huge.
Huge.
It's huge!
5,
Duterte faces nationwide revolt over drugs war after killing of a schoolboy sparks outrage.
This was submitted by Lee Rye, the Element guy, to Our World News.
So if you haven't heard about it, the recently, I mean, it was like 2 years ago at this point, president of the Philippines, Mr. Duterte, decided he was going to take a hard stance on the war on drugs in the Philippines, giving full permission for people to just kill other people if they had any involvement or even suspected involvement with drugs. And that has led to the death of over 12,000 people at this point in just the last year. As they continue to just wage this war on drugs. And it's not a clean one. Like, they're literally just killing people in the streets and also just leaving them in the streets, by the way. It's not like they're like carting them off or anything. Nope, shoot them in the streets and leave them there. So in this particular instance, though, the largest outcry was in regarding to a 17-year-old boy by the name of Kian de los Santos. He was leaving his school when several police officers literally dragged him into an alleyway, handed him a gun, and told him to run. And when he did so, they shot him and then claimed that he had a gun. Yep. And it's not just eyewitness accounts. We have we have closed caption, CCTV, whatever that stands for. Closed circuit.
Caption.
No, circuit.
Closed circuit television.
Yeah, we have closed circuit television footage of this entire instance taking place.
You can't just say, yeah, no, that happened this way when you have fucking evidence like that.
Yeah.
That is not testimony. That is solid evidence.
So this is rejuvenated and put out a huge spark to just stop it. Like,
yeah, no, stop killing people. Those are your citizens. This is literal genocide.
yeah, you're not allowed to do this. Like it was already out of hand. It's now getting even more out of hand because like they're like, well, we believed he was a drug runner, and it's like, with what? What did you have? Like, he was literally, like, everyone that's spoken about it is like, no, he was a good kid. He went to school. He wanted to be a police officer. He
All right, so let's look at his parents. What did his parents do?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
More aptly, what did they do wrong?
I don't know. It could also just be cops that have free reign to kill who they want, how they want, when they want, and decided that they were just going to do something else.
It's fair.
But right now, the hashtag Justice for Kian is going everywhere, as well as just like people saying, "Come on, Philippines, quit it. This is ridiculous."
Mm-hmm. Just as much as it's ridiculous in America that we're racist as fuck.
Yeah. Although, like, if I had to choose between the two, I think I'm going to choose the racism part because people don't die. At least they're not dying yet. Hopefully, it doesn't get to that point again. But
it's really weird how, in a lot of the time, oh fuck, God, I hope that wasn't my goddamn screen.
Did you drop your phone?
Yeah, a lot of the time. Oh, thank God. When it comes to like genocides in countries, if you're not a first world country, if you're not like America, a lot of people just don't care.
We should care.
Yeah, I know we should. But like a lot of the time, just as long as you're not using anything against the Geneva Convention,
we should still care. They killed a 17-year-old kid because they could.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's just weird because, like, I feel like we should have been talking about this way more, and for people to actually be, like, sending messages to Duterte for him to knock it off, and it's just not happening.
Well, like, world leaders are sending messages to him, and we have been talking about it, but nothing is actually being done to stop it.
Right. Exactly. Not... Okay. I guess, yeah.
4.
Chile rejects iron mine to protect penguins.
This was submitted by Save the Dolphins 8616 to Our World News.
That is a very appropriate name. I realize we're talking about penguins, but the fact that your name is Save the Dolphins when we're talking about protecting penguins, like...
Dolphins are assholes.
Yeah, it's true, but, I mean, still, it was rather appropriate.
I guess we need the assholes of the ocean around.
So a Chilean company, Andes Iron, wanted to extract millions of tons of iron in the northern Coquimbo region, as well as building an entire new port, but ministers said the project did not provide sufficient environmental guarantees, as the area is home to 80% of the world's Humboldt penguins, as well as other endangered species, including blue whales, fin whales, and sea otters. So they are rejecting the proposal.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Now, and Andres Iron can file an appeal in the case and present a new plan that will have more sufficient guarantees for environmental protection to maybe allow the mining and the port to be set up and put forward, but they're not approving it under its current design.
Yeah, because it's probably hurt an assload of penguins.
Well, it's not that it will, it's that there's a risk for it to, with the way that there is no true protection plan set up in terms of, like, the design of the mine being built. And if, like, while they want the mine to be built, because, I mean, it would bring more money to the country of Chile, they are not going to choose money over the environment.
Understandably so.
So, applause for you, Chile, because, thank you.
Yeah.
The penguins can't thank you, but I will.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that you have penguins. It's just, I find it weird to find penguins anywhere other than Antarctica, but they're actually in a lot of places. Like, there's penguins in South Africa sometimes.
Sure.
It's I don't know, it's silly to me, but they're there.
I wonder how the penguin population would fare if Antarctica actually had bears. You think penguins would be bear food?
Well, penguins oftentimes are eaten by orcas.
Oh.
As well as other predators down there, like, I think elephant seals might be down there.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So they're not, like, the top of the food chain. They're not the only things in Antarctica.
That's fair.
They get eaten.
3.
Dead Stuntman's family receives $740,000 donation from Jet Li.
This was submitted by GFS to Our Uplifting News.
So initially I thought this was regarding the dead stunt woman on the set of Deadpool 2. No, this apparently happened back in 2011. Stunt double Liu Kun...
leopard seals. I'm sorry. Thank you, Andrew.
Was killed on the set of The Expendables 2 back in 2011. I think I already said that, but too late. I already reiterated it. He died from wounds he suffered from an on-set explosion that was just not conducted correctly. It took 4 years of a legal battle for the family to try and get some sort of compensation for it. I need to actually translate.
A lot of the time they can't because fucking contracts for stuntmen are fucking... Oh my god.
Yeah, you're taking the risk.
It's literally the worst.
After they were done with the case, they were awarded $25,000, which is a pittance.
Pity.
Yeah. And in response to that, Jet Li there was no official comment or announcement for it, so the belief is that Jet Li intended the donation to be a private one. But I mean, it did, get leaked out upon some facet, in which he has donated 5.8 million Hong Kong dollars, which translates to about 740,000 US dollars.
That's fucking sick.
As basically saying, I'm really sorry that your family member died being my stunt double.
I mean, if I was an action star who had a stunt double and that happened, I would totally fucking do that too. Because you're indirectly the cause of that death.
When's the last time, like, a major actor was killed during filming?
it The Crow?
I don't know. I'm trying to.
Brandon Lee? Was it Brandon? I think that's his name.
Okay. Oh, jeez. This is sorted by the release date of the movie. Apparently the story of Taiwan, the director, his assistant, and a pilot were all killed during a helicopter crash earlier this year in June. I'm looking for the last time an
actor. I think it was Brandon Lee. I think his name was Brandon. God, I'm really bad.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. Some of these I didn't know about, and that's horrifying. In one of the Maze Runner movies, one of the main actors suffered multiple injuries after being run over by a car.
Oh, fuck. It's too bad that the only good Maze Runner movie was the first Maze Runner.
Stuntman, stunt double. Richard Hammond was significantly injured during filming the Grand Tour.
Anton Yelchin's dead.
Yeah, but he wasn't killed.
But yeah, he got ran over after.
Yeah, he got ran over at his house by his own vehicle. I'm trying to see construction worker, stunt pilot, cinematographer.
Maybe Poltergeist.
Apparently, two of the main actors in... I have not heard of this. It's a movie called Masti Goody. They drowned.
Damn.
Yeah, they took a 60-foot plunge from a chopper while trying to shoot the film's climax scene.
In climax?
A rescue motorboat scheduled to pull the actors out of the water did not start, resulting in immediate drowning.
I don't want to watch that then. Is it available? Have they released
I have
it?
no idea. I don't see anything for like major actors. Lots of stunt injuries and like camera assistants and stuff. Jennifer Lawrence almost died recording Mockingjay Part 1.
Oh man, that would have made me cry. I love Jennifer Lawrence. She did a great Mystique.
Yeah, a malfunctioning fog machine just bathed her in smoke and she almost died of suffocation. Don't know. All right, I'm moving on from that because, yeah, I'm just moving on from that.
Yeah, I think it's Brandon Lee.
Maybe.
Final answer.
There's a lot of injuries on movies, apparently, according to that list, so I'm not going to keep on trying to go through them all.
2.
ESPN announcer steps away from Virginia football game because he has a Confederate general's name, Robert Lee.
This was submitted by 42 71 Fub 3 45 60 to our news.
Good work. Proud of you, son. So he has 20 years of announcing experience. It was currently slated to announce a college football game in Charlottesville, Virginia, but after seeing that he had the name Robert Lee, both ESPN and himself suggested maybe I shouldn't go there right now, purely just to avoid any level of controversy. A lot of people are just like throwing this everywhere. I'm not sure if it's actually that big of a deal. I mean, they're trying to avoid a controversy by not having him go, and they created a controversy by not having him go.
We had a guy come into the courthouse today whose name was like Robert Lee, and then I forget his last name. But he had wanted to get his name changed, and the reasoning he put was, and I quote, "because I'm not named after a fucking murderer."
All right, then. So, yeah, Andrew says, even though he's Chinese, yeah, the announcer is Chinese. I mean, Lee is a very common last name for them, so they were just...
So, okay, so this is how I feel about this. I feel like this would be more of a fucked up thing if it was just ESPN's call. But since he agreed to it and had been like, yeah, maybe this is a good idea, then like, I think this is all right.
Yeah. I think people are just blowing this out of proportion more than it needs to be. I understand why ESPN might not have wanted him there. I also understand why people are criticizing it of like, oh, you know, you're babies. But at the same time, like, whatever. It was all, you know, PR decisions and probably also trying in some ways to maybe protect him with how high tensions are there. So, like, it wasn't a great decision, but I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
Mer. So, derp. There we go.
1.
Trump goes off script in hour-long public meltdown.
Oh, fuck. This was submitted by Wandering Socrates to Our Politics.
So, after what was supposed to be a 2020 campaign rally, by the way, it's still 2017, good God, at the...
Yeah, why are you fucking campaigning? Get back into the White House and actually do something.
Yep. So at the Phoenix Convention Center, he apparently ditched his teleprompter and just went off script and just ranted for an hour. Ranted about being mistreated by the media in the wake of Charlottesville, relentlessly attacked an entire array of enemies, including Arizona's Republican senators, portrayed himself as the true victim of the clash between white supremacists and counter-protesters, talked about journalists and other social media commenters. He started, praising CNN pundit who was fired for tweeting Nazi slogans, and then started praising like Fox and Friends about how they're the only good people in the media. Basically, woe is me, I'm treated the worst, etc., etc.
What a giant fucking baby.
Yeah.
Also, that's a lot of fucked up shit, dude.
Like,
it's like he wants to get impeached.
Maybe he does. Like, I feel like he doesn't want to because it'll make him look bad, and he cares more about anything else than looking good. But at the same time, I don't think he wants to do the job anymore. Like, he even has admitted before he didn't realize it was going to be so much work.
Yeah, no, I feel like he's that kid who's like, yeah, I'll take an extra class so I can pass early. And then fails that class.
Yeah, like I don't understand. Like, is the president allowed to quit?
You can step down.
You can step down?
That's technically what fuck. There was one of the presidents, I don't remember who, he was going to get impeached, but he stepped down beforehand.
Last president to step foot in Cuba.
To resign.
The autofill said last president to step foot in Cuba.
Just,
Yeah, I was like, Nixon. Nixon was apparently the last one.
Oh, so he wasn't actually impeached.
Apparently not.
Yeah, so he resigned instead. And you can do that.
Huh, interesting. So, sure, I mean, but at the same time, like, people will criticize him for, thank you, Brett and Andrew in the chat room also saying Nixon. Apparently, I don't think he'll ever do that because people are like, oh, couldn't handle it, what a quitter. And he's like, I'm not a quitter.
I'm not. I'll show all of you. That's the only reason why I'm alive.
Well, and I mean, if he gets impeached, it just gives him more of a platform to whine.
Yeah. Oh, it's no fair. They kicked me out of my job. I was doing it correctly. The stupid liberal cucks.
Yeah. So, either way, like, Jesus, dude. Like, he was doing good there for a little while of not going off the rail and sticking to the teleprompter, and I guess he just couldn't handle it anymore.
Just fuck it. And it's not even been a year.
Nope. It's been 8 months. 8 months and 3 days.
Baffling, I tell you. Absolutely baffling.
Like, come on, man. Okay. Anyway, hey, Nathan.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
What'd you care about in the last 24 hours?
I found a new subreddit that I think is going to be hilarious, and I was going to subscribe to it and go through it.
What is it?
It's called Our Bone Hurting Juice.
Oh, there's one that I found the other day, too. I'll see if I can find it. So what's bone hurting juice?
It's where you take memes and you purposely make them wrong.
Why?
Because it's fucking funny as hell. It comes from an old meme where it shows J. Jonah Jameson from the first Spider-Man films, and he's laughing, right?
Okay.
But it says, ow, my bones hurt, ow, oof, ouch, bone hurting juice.
Okay.
So...
Man, what was it?
There's a lot of good shit that you pulled up today, and I don't want to talk about more politics shit.
Oh, no, that's understandable. What was it? Is it just gone? Did I not actually subscribe to it? That's quite possible.
Andrew, I can't talk about that. That's spoilers.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Shh.
Man, where did it... I guess I didn't actually subscribe to it. I'm sad now. Because that was a cool subreddit, whatever it was. But it's gone.
Oh, sucks teat for you. I subscribed to our bone hurting juice.
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
I cared about two things, and I found both of these while I was trying to get all of the topics for today. The first one is that SpaceX has released an image for their new flight suits.
Oh, what do they look like?
If I can get it to pull it up, then there we go. Did it work? Why is it have to be that shape? Can I squeeze it? Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna do it the other way then. If anyone's ever played Mass Effect, they look like Mass Effect suits.
I haven't played Mass Effect.
Well, I'm working.
Actually, I haven't.
I'm working on getting it pulled up. There we go. That's what they look like. They literally look like the suits for Mass Effect.
Well, I'll see that in about a decade.
Or you could just open the link in the show notes.
It'll pop up.
It'll pop up.
This way I can also, like, interact with the people.
That's fair. It needs to be stated that these are flight suits, not space suits, and the difference in that is a space suit is what you're able to do when you're out in space by yourself. A flight suit is a suit that is designed to keep you alive while you're inside either the International Space Station, a space shuttle, a shuttle. In general, while you're traveling, and two, if something goes wrong and it depressurizes. So okay,
because that'd probably fuck up your organs, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, it happened once where that happened and all of the cosmonauts died. Yeah, well, because they didn't have flight suits, because they didn't, why do we need a flight suit? Because stuff can go wrong. So it depressurized and they all died. And since then, they've been given...
You can even buy flight suits and spacesuits in the Star Wars RPG for the original one, the Saga edition.
This was a while ago, by the way. And since then, we haven't had any accidents. That's good. But I mean, SpaceX was like, we need our own because we're friggin' SpaceX. And so they designed real cool ones.
Yeah. Instead of designing a way for people to work without bones.
Why?
Then when the pressurization happens, you can just float around like a blob and still be alive.
Or not.
I think that would be fun. I think we should Cronenberg the entire world.
No, Nathan. Anyway, the other thing is that today I learned in an effort to reduce the high number of suicides on South Korea's Mapo Bridge, it was unofficially renamed the Bridge of Life. It was decorated with positive affirmations and even sympathetic sculptures. Suicides increased 6-fold the following year.
That's fucking insane. It's like that suicide forest in Japan.
We want to help you be happy and free. Oh, this just makes me more depressed. Oh wait, I got it.
Do you know about the suicide forest?
Yes, I do. You can share information about it if you'd like.
It's called Aokigahara, and it's the suicide forest or sea of trees in Japan. And there's an assload amount of suicides. You can walk through that forest and just look over to the side and you'll see bodies hanging, or you'll see just skeletons on the ground.
And that's when...
I'm not dead!
Yeah, see?
What do you do?
Well, fuck, then I run. Well, okay, so if I'm in the suicide forest, let's be real. We all know why I'm there.
Yeah, gonna participate?
Yeah.
No.
Actually, I'd probably go there to pick up a bunch of bones, because technically, in the United States, it's not illegal to sell things made out of bones.
Okay.
And I would totally use that as an I'd make bone flutes and other stuff, like bone-hurting juice.
Well, that's all I got. You got anything else, Nathan?
No, I'm pretty done. I kind of want to go read My Hero Academia since I'm almost caught up.
And I kind of want to eat food because by the smell of things, I think Jennifer's finished cooking and it smells amazing. She made tacos and I'm going to stuff my face and it's going to be
Oh
great.
shit!
Oh, you need it? Mm.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. We're going to get out of here. We do still have one more episode that'll be coming out tomorrow. Once again, we do go live on Facebook at 6 p.m. Alaska time if you would like to catch that. Otherwise, though, you can, of course, catch us on YouTube. The videos are also available on Facebook. You can also catch it on...
I'm sorry, Andrew says femur flute, and I'm like, yeah, that's humorous.
No. What's wrong with you? I'm not even... fine, here you go.
It's a pun.
You're the worst. Otherwise, of course, you can catch the show iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, basically anywhere that you can get a podcast at. You should be able to get the show. If you find one that you can't, let me know because I need to make sure that that happens. Otherwise, follow and share the show on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. All of those are at iReaditCast. You can find me on social media at Schwan Michael and Nathan at Bimmenstein. If you would like to submit a story for the show, even if it's not a recent one, we'd love to talk about it. Send it to our inbox, which is feedback.ireadit@gmail.com. Otherwise, you can call and leave us a voicemail, 508-738-2278. Another reminder, you can support us financially at patreon.com/dailyinternet. We are at $91 a month right now. $9 more and you get a terrible white boy rap from me. I understand that might be a deterrent, but it's only once. After that, once we hit 150, Nathan is going to shave his luxurious beard. There's a lot of it there if you haven't actually checked out the video before. He's got a lot of beard on his face. And then at 200, for those also that view the video, Nathan has a horribly crooked picture right behind him that he's intentionally keeping crooked because of YouTube comments. $200 a month, and he will straighten that out. Otherwise, though, we just love your support so we can get up to 5, 6, or even 7 days a week. And that's it, everybody. That is your 338th dose of the internet. I'm Michael Schwan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
No, you're out of shape.
Oh, fuck.
All right, everybody. And please remember...
Don't get offended!
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.